Hey, welcome to the No Drinks in the Booth podcast, back with another classic episode. Episode 20. How did we make it this far? Shout out to everyone listening on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. And as always, with me in the booth, full of opinions, Pavan Saki, and the Cappuccino King himself, Chris Watson. And always holding it down, myself, Wade Kadir. How is everyone, Chris? You can start because you never asked me, so...
Why did you say that? Because I was going to ask you. You at the end of my little introduction. Guys, listeners, viewers, can you hear the hate I get on this podcast? I'm just here for the podcast. I'm just here for the good vibes, for the music. I'm just here to discuss things that matter, to really make a difference in the world. And this is the hate that I get.
Are you saying how we feel doesn't matter?
See, you see, I just can't win. I can't win. Do you know what? I was good until we started this podcast. No, I'm good. No. I'm sweet. I'm good. Cracking on.
What have you been up to?
Producing a lot still. Lots of different stuff this week. I've done last week and going into this week, I've done 5 tracks in 7 days. So yeah, production's at an all-time high at the minute. Did a stream on Saturday. That's a lot of fun. I've also finished off my EP finally. I said I'd do that by the 1st of December. I set myself a task of having an EP after the second lockdown. Got that done. So yeah, things are cool. But it's kind of like just riding that wave of productivity at the moment, which is great.
Riding what?
So riding that wave of productivity, mate.
Yeah, I heard riding that wave.
I was like,
just fantastic.
Get a room.
That was a really inspirational, little insight into my life, but then it just got ruined in the end. Fantastic. Right. Wade, how are you today, mate?
You meant to ask Pav.
Yeah, we have a whole, listeners of the pod, we have a whole chat where we're like, okay, certain things just work good in certain orders, in order to preserve the flow of the podcast. Mm-hmm. So something like this is, we always ask Wade either at the beginning, so he's either the first person or the last person.
Talking about flow.
Just because then he can segue.
Talking about flow, I just said I wanted to ride Wade, so it's already just ruined. So
my pony.
Let's move swiftly on.
The feeling's not mutual, but yeah, Pav, how are you?
I'm doing great, mate. Been redoing my studio setup still. Got some new little additions that are coming in. I did work on Saturday. I had an actual job, which is pretty cool. I was doing some stream filming for some conference thing that's going on in a couple of weeks. So I was doing some recording for that. Did a bit of green screen life. Went to a friend of mine's green screen studio, which was pretty cool because he's got a music studio in there as well. Him and his brother work together, and his brother's like a very famous mix engineer and playback producer in England. He does a lot of BBC stuff, so I was just chilling with him, just chatting shit about some beats and stuff, seeing what kit I could steal.
Always good,
apparently, because he's all analog still, and he was like, the only reason why I haven't moved is because if I sell my current desk, it's worth £40. And it's a 24 channel analog desk that he definitely did not pay £40 for. And he was like, yeah, it's worth fuck all, so I'll just keep it. I was like, oh, great. Otherwise, I've had a great week, mate. Wade, how have you been though, mate? That's what's really honestly, every week I sit here and I think, you know what? Who asks about Wade?
What would Wade
who
do?
Thinks about him?
I'd also like to know how Wade is. I did actually ask how Wade was.
Jumping on the bandwagon, mate.
I did ask, and now I really would like to know.
I'll tell you, I'm good. NBA free agency is heating up. Some good trades going on. That's always keeps me sort of going, especially during this whole after lockdown period. I didn't stream.
I've not been watching it. Is there any good trades yet?
Well, for people that know the NBA, I know you mostly don't listen to this podcast, but if you do, I'm going to give you some knowledge. John Wall's gone to the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets have traded Russell Westbrook there. It's a big trade. Couldn't believe it was happening. Thought it was like a fantasy one. It was legit. So yeah, that's the biggest story that's happened. in NBA free agency. What else have I done? Oh, Saturday I didn't stream because I had a guest mix on Radio Chelmsford for Liam Bone's show. Big shout out to Liam. So that went out. That was really good. And for anyone that wants to listen to that mix, you can't actually listen back to it on their app. You have to listen live. It comes out tonight. Well, yesterday, but tonight. So you can listen back to it. Check out
what? Even I'm confused with that.
We record
tonight, but yesterday, but tonight.
We record on a Monday. This goes out on a Tuesday. It comes out.
So they need to have listened on Monday.
Well, it comes out tonight for us, but for everyone listening, it would come out the day before.
So basically, it's out.
So basically, they can't listen.
No.
Basically, it's out now. Yeah, it's on my Mixcloud and SoundCloud.
I'll be honest, mate, I was sitting there listening to it. It was great. Yeah,
fantastic.
Even though it's out later.
Go and listen to the mix.
/ yesterday.
Yeah, it's really good. And Chris spoke about his new EP, what he got done. The first track of the mix is one of Chris's tracks, oddly enough.
Exclusive
I've
first
listened to the link yet.
So yeah, you get to hear it first on my Mixcloud and SoundCloud before Chris puts out the EP. And no one can steal it because I've put all fucking tags all over it.
Yes.
It's like DJ Wade Kadir.
Yeah, loads of them. Yeah, loads of loads of Wade Kadir on the track. But other than that
I'm going to leak it.
You can try. I'll put a fucking air siren in before I put it out.
Well, no, not your mix.
Oh.
Chris has sent me the same link he sent you.
Oh, yeah. And actually, me and Chris had a discussion about his EP. I told him some of the song titles were shit. That was basically the discussion. And he agreed. Did you tweak
literally
him?
You see that?
Literally.
Sorry, Chris. Do you want to see the double standard here, Chris? Wade, look at this. Look how he's looking out for you, and you can't even ask how he is. Disgusting.
I know.
Disgusting.
I know.
Look,
and I played his track before anyone else, but whatever.
No, do you know what? Wade's had a lot of input into this EP. He's changed a couple of track names, which I agree with, because I named them random names in a rush, and they weren't the right names. So
do you do that thing where, like, if you're watching something, you just name the beat after what you're watching or whatever?
No, just kind of whatever I'm doing at the time.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
it's literally just whatever I'm doing at the time. So yeah, they need a little bit of tweaking. But thanks for your feedback, Wade. And
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
really
taking credit.
it.
I've got loads of credits on this EP, which is great. So
yeah. Lots of credits. Definitely, I'll give you lots of shout outs.
As his agent, I'll be in contact.
Yeah.
Jesus,
there's loads of good stuff in this podcast this week. I think the reviews, man, it was a struggle getting this amount of tracks because it's been a slow week.
Whoa, don't like precursor it with that.
No,
they're not gonna fucking listen to it. Guys, the reviews. Honestly,
I said it was a struggle getting this amount of tracks.
I wanted to suck myself off. They were that good.
Yeah, but now you've just precursored it, so they're not going to listen. They'll be like, well...
No, now they know that they're such top quality.
What are you on about, Pav? We all said before the podcast we weren't feeling the tracks this week. Like the tracks, we had a better week last week. Although last week was unreal for music. Last week for music was
Chris,
unreal.
I'm trying to hype it up.
Right, listen.
Pav, we're no drinks in the booth. We don't do hype. We do realness.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. We should tackle that. The reviews were a struggle getting 11 tracks because it's been a slow week for music. The news, we've got some good news stories. The gem of each podcast is obviously Pav's What's Your Order now.
Oh, yeah.
Last week,
I'm working on another segment as well, boys. So, like, maybe
exclusive,
next week.
Exclusive.
Yeah, we've only just found this out as well, yeah. But obviously the gem is Pav's What's Your Order. Last week...
That's because I thought of it when I was making my tea earlier.
Pav, you ever let me do this fucking link?
Nope, never.
Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it.
Go on.
Blow his head. Go.
Yeah, my beanie's going to fucking shoot through the roof. Pav's What's Your Order was obviously every week now, yeah. Until we run out of takeaways or food. But last week was an Indian takeaway. It's very interesting. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, you really should to get a flavour of Pav's What's Your Order. And this week, Pav, what is it?
This week, we are doing What Is Your Order? The pizza edition.
Nice.
So if I hear vegetable biryani one more fucking time,
it will make my night.
Chris, we're gonna scrap.
It's the
You're
best
not
dish,
about
mate.
400 miles away, but
no, just like when I see him, we'll scrap it. It would be like Hold me back, hold me back.
Honestly, you just hate for
Well-
vegetable biryanis. They're so nice. They're so nice. I'd
Listen,
rather talk about
listen.
vegetable biryanis than pizza, to be honest. But if you want to do pizza
Well,
this week,
yeah,
we'll
but-
do it.
I've never said.
What do you mean? What do you mean if you want to do pizza this week? We did Indian last week. We can't do 2 lots of Indian.
I'm talking about a whole week dedicated to vegetable biryanis. They're just that good.
Yeah, but like this, is what I'm saying. Yeah, no one has ever gone. This rice is really nice, but you know what it could do with
Some
fucking
vegetables?
cauliflower.
I say that most times I eat Indian. So,
All right, Jake.
You know, you got
calm
one in.
down.
look,
Right.
I can't wait for the
Okay,
pizza
boomer.
section.
Listen,
love pizza.
That comes up later on in the podcast. It is all 3 of our favourites. Pav's obviously got a new section that he needs to tell us about after the podcast. So get ready for next week because that'd be fucking mental. Should we get into news? Because speaking of scrapping, the first news story is about fighting. So let's get into some news.
Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Too smooth, mate.
Go
Too
on.
smooth.
Well, mate, I'll have to think of these links on my own on the spot. So, you know. Okay, first news story is Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, YouTuber. The fight was announced this week. It goes out on the 20th of February 2021. Thoughts about Logan Paul, thoughts about Floyd
I think
Mayweather,
the thing-
thoughts about whether one of them's going to get killed, ideally Logan Paul.
Okay. Do you know what's weird?
You want to try words, Chris?
Yeah, I'll try some words.
Calm.
Are you
I'll try some words.
beatboxing?
I'll try some words.
Go up.
I'll try some words. So you know when McGregor fought Mayweather, and it was like, oh my god, he might win because he's coming from UFC, so he might not, but he might win because obviously he's a fighter or whatever. Like, there's a chance.
Yeah.
And now he's it's Logan Paul. Is it Logan or Jake Paul? Which one is it? I literally get confused.
Logan.
It's against
The
Logan.
one that KSI fought.
Yeah. And now he's going against Logan. It's like, why are people, after the McGregor result, why are people kind of even wondering how this is going to turn out? Or maybe they just don't care how it's going to turn out. Maybe it doesn't matter. It's just they can just watch Logan basically getting beaten up by one of the greatest boxers ever.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it.
This was your bit to jump in now.
Oh, cheers. Sorry, I'm also trying to read the news at the same time. It's on another screen. Very distracted.
Oh my god.
I have a couple of thoughts about this fight. Obviously, I was at KSI Logan too. I was there when history was made.
You really?
Front row. I was there. Don't want to brag. It happened. With Mayweather Logan Paul, it's a real weird one because obviously his brother Jake wanted to fight him, but now Logan's fighting him. So that's a weird one from the start. I don't think Mayweather's going to knock him out because that's not his style, and he's like inactive. Like if you listen to most fighters, they'll say the worst thing is being inactive. It's not. It's not being fat or anything else. They're like being inactive is the worst thing, and he hasn't fought in like 3-4 years. Not to say that he's still not gonna 100% win. I don't think he'll knock him out per se because it's never been his style anyway. He's always been a defensive boxer. He'll want Logan to go on to him, and I agree with what Chris was saying about like the McGregor fight. Like McGregor genuinely had a chance.
Yeah, because he's a
Like
fighter.
there was like a 10% possibility that McGregor would have actually won that fight because he can actually punch people and was active. It's obviously just the whole kicking thing that he couldn't do. My thoughts on this fight are Mayweather wants the payday, but I think he's going to sign a bunch of these fighters.
Well, it's all about the payday, isn't it? Really? I mean, it doesn't take a genius.
I think he's gonna have this fight, make it look like Logan was pretty decent, and then sign a bunch of these fighters and have them fight under Mayweather Productions. Well, the Money Team Productions or whatever it is.
I agree with you. I think he's going to do the same thing.
I think that's the thing. I mean, he already like obviously KSI trained with his team, the B team, Jeff Mayweather, for the second fight, the KSI Logan 2. Vidal, who was KSI's trainer, is signed to Mayweather. So I think they're just like, oh, well, these real fighters can spend 10 years to become a good fighter, and we might make some money off them, like an AJ or someone like that. Or we could get these already famous people, put them in a ring, and we'll make the same money. It was like on the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. card, they obviously had Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. They got paid $600K each
Jesus.
to do that fight. The only people that made more money that day were Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So for $600K, like, I know from a very, very, very reliable source that like KSI Logan 2, they both made 8-figure sums. So there's loads of money in it. There's no point.
Did you just say there's? Have you just highlighted there's loads of money in boxing?
No. As in KSI and Logan Paul, who
No,
are
it's
boxers.
like you wouldn't
Do you know what I
wouldn't
mean?
even think that necessarily.
Like if you said to me, oh,
obviously a
Tyson
lot.
Fury made 50 mil, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense. He's
Well,
a great fighter.
I can see why there's loads of money in YouTube reality
I love
reality people boxing. Look, my thoughts on this is I agree with you, Pav. I think he will end up signing them, and it will benefit Floyd Mayweather in more ways than just one. Also, I hope he takes his head off because I really don't like Logan Paul.
No, Logan's cool. Jake's the cunt.
Oh, is it? I don't know who's who. There's one of them I really don't like.
So Logan's the one that did the Japanese suicide forest video. If you remember
I
that.
don't like him.
But he kind of grew up after that, so he stopped being a dickhead and realised he was being a prick. Jake is just one of those you get those people that just really think they're the best at everything. Like he releases tunes and stuff, and I'm like, that's fine. Like YouTubers can release tunes, but like they're not even subpar. But he's like, yeah, I'm like the best lyricist going and shit like that. And I'm like, it's a bit awkward.
Well, either way, I still want Mayweather to win. Should we move on from fighting? Let's talk about some record labels. Stormzy is signed to 0207 Def Jam UK. Big news when it comes to the Grime MC moving labels, because previously he was signed to Murky, was it Atlantic?
Yeah, he was signed to Atlantic. Which
and now
is
he's signed with
Atlantic Warner
0207.
Brothers? Do you know? Or was
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, Atlantic's Warner Brothers. Def Jam is Universal, isn't it?
Def Jam's Universal, yeah.
That's really interesting one, that is. Obviously, it was always a license deal, which was pioneered by the legendary Tiny Temper, now Tiny, who started up. He's actually should get a lot more credit than he deserves, even apart from the fact that his music was amazing, and we all rate him for that. But he was one of the first artists, especially in this scene, that made his own record label and then started licensing his music out rather than just releasing it on a record label. So all of his stuff he owns, like even from Pass Out.
Yeah.
Which is great to see. So it's great to see everyone, like more people doing this. I'm assuming it was just more money in it on the next deal when Atlantic couldn't keep up, because Atlantic have got a lot of people on their roster right now.
I think it's a good fit for Stormzy. Def Jam's like a pioneer in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
Obviously, their 0207 label, part of the Def Jam UK label, is gonna. I think they're trying to do the same for like UK artists in their respective scenes, so like grime and drill and stuff like that. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it broadens his audience and horizons, and it's definitely a very very interesting move.
To be honest, I'm still just waiting for his reply to Chip. Like, where is that? Like,
I don't care. I don't care about that.
I just really want that to happen. I'd rather he has that than a new record deal. But there you go.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You'll most probably get a vaccine before you get the reply. So
I just want to say one thing about vaccines. Yeah.
No, save it for after.
Hold on.
All right. Oh, okay. I'll save it for later. Then that's fine.
We got discussion coming.
I'll just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Because we can't just talk about what pizza we order. Okay, moving on a bit of DJ news. Autofon, they've launched their VNL cartridges that are very similar to a very well-known cartridge that DJs love and admire, including myself. Thoughts? Either of you care? I do.
Well,
I just sent the video because go on,
the
Chris,
Autofon
you have it.
cartridges that you recommended to me, which are by me, Concords. Yeah. They're wicked. I absolutely love them. So I'm now a fan of everything Autofon does. I'm not sure about these new ones though. I need to do my research. Whether I'm going to purchase them. Are you going to buy them, Wade?
Well, I'll be honest with you, sir. I watched the Mojack's First Look video, which anyone can view on DJ City and Mojack's YouTube channel, the Tips and Tricks one. I suggest if you're interested, you should. And it was a nice look in. I want to see like a full review, like how they've worn in and stuff, and if they do really compete with the cartridge they're very similar to.
The M44.
Shure. Yeah, the M44. Will I buy them? Look, they're cheaper than Concord Scratch Edition ones for a pair. So I think you save about 50 quid. Because I think they're 75 each, and you get three different needles with each pair. Like a 1, a 2, and a 3, which are different rigidities. So how rigid they are. So I think it's good value. I just want to see how they hold up in a review video because I don't actually need new cartridges or needles or anything. But would I make the jump to these from Concords? Yes. If they're anything like the Shures, then yeah, because I adore the Shure.
I mean, pretty much everyone who is in a club that I've seen ever use turntables never uses the Autofons. I know they had a lot of problem with like matching pairs of needles back in the day, like even like up to a couple of years ago. But now they're basically the only needle company on the market for DJs, realistically.
The only ones that do proper like ones for scratching.
Yeah, like Chris was like, "Oh
stuff,
I really love them, and I wouldn't change them." Well, here's a fun fact, mate: you fucking can't.
You can't.
There's
you
nothing
can't.
else. There is the Autofon Concord and its varieties, or the Autofon vinyl, and that's it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Unless you buy some of those, what are they called? Like those Ginico N44/7 G code. That's it.
G code. Yeah, I wanted them. I couldn't get them shit.
It's just a remake of the M44. It's called the N44 for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Well, big up.
Honestly, if Autofon could have called this the 044, they 100% would have. They just did not want to get sued to shit.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, don't they?
I'm really excited.
I'd tell you what. If someone's listening and they don't know about DJing, they've completely turned off at this point. If they just want to hear about the new 24 Golden tune, then I think they've turned off now.
The only reason why the M44 was the club needle of choice is because it was really easy to put a penny on the top. That's a fact.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because DJs like to overweight them, but
yeah.
No, I'm really excited about it. Hopefully, you know, I can get a pair. I don't know if it's pronounced vinyl or VNL, but if anyone from Autofons listening, please send me a pair. I can do the review myself.
Are you on Phase now, or are you still Needle Life?
No, I don't. Needle Life.
Have you not got Phase yet?
I had Phase.
Did you get rid of Phase?
And it went back.
Did you get Phase version 1 or version 2 though?
Version 2.
With the USB one.
Yeah.
Was it any good?
Look,
was it just like,
a lot of DJs use it. I can understand why they use it. Just wasn't for me.
Just
would you give them a 3 out of 5, Wade?
I would at their current iteration, I'd mostly give them a 2.
I've heard the connectivity's not great on them.
Yeah, I think it sounds stupid. Little time needs to pass. Technology needs to update a little bit, and them kinks need to be sorted out. And I don't know if I'd move over to them. I would buy them for club use, but I don't think when I'm indoors I would use them.
Because it'll never be quite the same feel, will it?
No, I would use them in a club. Would I use them in a studio or indoors? No, I'd just use my cartridges. But I can understand why they're so good for a live venue compared to using a cartridge. Okay, let's move on. The last story is to do with Rita Ora. And she apologised after a second breach of the UK's COVID-19 restrictions. The 30-year-old flew to Egypt for a private performance on the 21st of September and failed to isolate on return. So that would be her second breach of the UK's COVID-19 restrictions and rules. The first one was that she held her 30th birthday in a restaurant with loads of her friends during lockdown when none of that was open. Thoughts on her second one, not the first, the second one, the flying to Egypt, not necessarily performing, but the break of the rules by not isolating.
I haven't got a huge problem with the second one. And I'll tell you
Oh,
why.
I do.
Because really, and I don't know the ins and outs, so I'm saying all this on the preface of what I'm about to say. Realistically, because to get on the plane, you've got to have had 2 tests or something like that, especially for areas like Egypt and there's certain places. You've got to take a test just before you go, so you'll know if you have coronavirus or not. And then before you come back, you also have to take a test. And when you get here, you have to take a test. So I don't know how quick the breach is, but if that's the case and they're all negative, I'm live. That's why everyone's going to Dubai, because you can just take a test and they're like, oh yeah, if you're not positive by 3 days in and you keep taking the tests, just come in and do what you want. And then the same when you come back.
See,
that's why it's not on the quarantine list when you come back.
See, my whole thing about this is I'm okay. The first thing she did by having the private birthday party in a restaurant with her friends, I'm more okay with that because it's closed to the public. So like, all her friends that have obviously gone know the risk in going.
Oh, I don't like that one because it just shits on everyone else. So I feel worse.
Yeah, I think it shit. I think it shits on everyone else, but at the same time, you're not endangering the general public.
Yeah.
By flying back from Egypt and not isolating. For example, when she goes food shopping, if she was positive, she could infect 10,
In
20,
fairness,
30,
though,
40
when
people.
have you ever seen Rita Ora in a Lidl?
Yeah, but it's just the whole like celebrity. Why I can do it because I'm a celebrity, and shame you peasants can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically,
that's what
the
I don't
bottom line
like.
of this story is: celebrities, can you please stop being cunts? We know you guys have a lot of money, but we really don't, and we're just fucking sitting on it. Who did I watch the other day? I was listening to a podcast or something. I can't remember who I was listening to, and they were talking about celebrities tweeting about like how everyone's in lockdown. And they were like, "Oh, we're all in this together, and this and that. Like we're staying at home as well." And the guy was like, "No." It's like, we're not all in this together. He was like, some of us like can't buy clothes because Primark is fucking not open. And you guys have got 25 bedrooms, like, and a pool and a pool table and a cinema room. Like, it's not the same. Like, you can do the same things inside as you can outside, except there's less people. Like, it's not the same. So stop being cunts, please. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
You heard.
Yeah, Chris, that was your cue to come in because you haven't like come in on this, but you said you heard, and I was like, oh, he's going to carry on here, and then just said nothing.
Yeah, it's yeah. I get the whole thing about the testing, you know, going to Egypt and stuff, and in a way, that's almost a surefire way of knowing that you're not spreading it by getting, you know, 3 to 4 tests over the space of say 2 weeks or a week. You know, yeah, the first one's worse than the second one. I kind of agree with everything you've said, to be honest. Yeah, she's obviously got to do what she's got to do to make money, but obviously a lot of people in the music industry can't do. They want to, but they can't do anything to make money. And she's decided to do that regardless. But, you know, she's a world superstar, so, you know, different rules apply. But yeah.
Okay, let's get into the reviews then. We forgot to do last week's track of the week, so we're going to do it now. I think that's fair. So we can highlight it right now. Yeah, I think that's a fair one. As always, you can listen to all the tracks we spoke about last week and this week in our Spotify playlist, No Drinks in the Booth, and watch the videos to them on our YouTube playlist of the same name, No Drinks in the Booth. Okay, so let's start with last week's track of the week. Chris, I'll let you go first.
It has to be, without any doubt,
Come on.
Fred again. With it was close to being the A track.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
But yeah,
said it. But
Fred again, Julia, deep diving. What a record! Big up, Fred again. Pav.
Okay, Pav, your track of the week.
That was my second, but my first. You guys know there's only one other tune it's going to be. Feed the Fire, baby. SG Lewis. The Brothers Maklovich. Oh my God. I cannot turn that song off still. It's very rare that I'll actually listen to a song this long, but like it's become my soundtrack, my sound check song. It's become my let me check my AirPods are working song. It's my I don't know what to put on, so let me just chuck this on song. It's just too good. But Deep Diving was like second. And I feel like it could have only really been one of those two, because last week was really like, it was a good music
Strong week.
but those two really stood out.
Yeah, I equally was going to go for either one of them. I chose the SG Lewis featuring Lucky
baby.
Day, Feed the Fire, A-Track and the Brothers Maklovich remix. Because that was in my mix that I did, that's why it beat Julia with by Fred again, purely because of that.
Yeah, I finally realised why it says A-Track and the Brothers Maklovich, even though he's obviously in the Brothers Maklovich, because I played it on a live stream on Thursday. And then I realized, I was like, "Oh my god, guys, you need to check this out!" Like SG Lewis and the Brothers Maklovich. And then I realized absolutely nobody can spell that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, literally, unless I look for this, I don't know. I was like, just type in SG Lewis A-Track and it'll come up.
That is true. Okay, should we get into this week? Actually, let me just recap last week's track of the week. Okay. Chris, you went for Fred again with Julia, Deep Diving.
Yeah.
Me and Pav both went for SG Lewis featuring Lucky Day, Feed the Fire, the A-Track and Brothers Maklovich remix. What great tracks. 5-star tracks. Okay. Should we get into this week's reviews then?
Let's go.
Okay, first track is Coco by 24K Golden featuring The Baby. Chris?
He's so consistent with his sound, and I respect that. 24K Golden, and it's great to see him working up and getting a big feature like The Baby on one of his tracks. So yeah, wicked stuff. Big ups to 24K Golden. I think he's going to be big. I've got a feeling. 3 out of 5 drinks for me on this track.
And we expect nothing less from you.
Yeah, I did the classic. Oh my god, this guy, honestly, I'm gonna bow down to him. Gets a 3. I feel like I need a tape recorder today to do this week's reviews, because they're all kind of going to be the same. This song was decent, but wasn't great in my opinion. 3 out of 5. It just didn't quite hit the mark for me.
Okay, Coco, 24K Golden featuring The Baby. I gave this one a 4. It's one of the rare 4s that, or 5s, maybe the higher marks that in this week. And this was one of them. I really liked it. Very similar sound, but it's done really well, like to the point where you know the songs are different. And I reckon it'd be quite catchy as well after listening to it a few times. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Okay, moving on. Seen It All by Abracadabra featuring Krept and Conan. Pav?
This actually did get a 4, just because it was like drill, but they weren't spitting drill bars over it, which is what I love. It was kind of weird. It was almost like that real rap stuff, but it was deep as well. It felt like Krept and Conan, My Story had like that kind of feel, and I really like that. And obviously they blew Abracadabra, so it's nice to see them collaborating again. 4 out of 5, solid effort.
100% agree with everything Pav said, especially, the drill beat, but with actual bars. And it sounds like the older Krept and Conan, which Pav, you can remind me of this. First album was called Young Kings. Is that right? With the white cover?
Yep.
Yeah.
Young Kings, which was the first independent album ever to go number 1.
That album, it sounds like what they were doing on that album. And I was a big fan of that album. So really good. 4 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, Seen It All by Abracadabra featuring Krept and Conan. I really liked it, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know. Nothing wrong with the track. I gave it 3. I can understand why you would give it a 4. It just not my flavour. Okay, moving on. Track's called Enough, and it is by Solardo and Rowetta. Chris?
Really old school again. These guys, Solardo, like they're coming out with that old school stuff. They used to produce dubstep, which I found out the other day. I just love that fact. And the going back to this track though, old school feel, the acid house synths that come out sort of about halfway through the track, they're done really well. 3 out of 5 drinks for me on Enough.
The classic 3 out of 5. You absolutely built up that tune and then gave it a 3. It was just all right, weren't it? 3 out of 5. There's nothing special.
Yeah, I think the same. I think it was good, but it was just it's going to
alright.
fly by. It's gonna fly.
What was we going to say? It might go in like a warm up somewhere.
I was going to say, I reckon if the clubs were open, it would mostly get a higher rating because it would get played more. So I would like it more. Does that make sense? Obviously, clubs being shut kills a lot of some of this stuff off, but you know, I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well. Okay, moving on. Queen of Hearts by Monkey. Chris?
Another really cool retro feel kind of record. This one was more of like a hint of the 80s than the 90s. But Monkey's a sick DJ, sick producer. 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Again, it was just standard, weren't it? There was nothing really going on. I feel bad 'cause I'm just saying this about every tune this week, but honestly, just wasn't a great week for music. Like last week was like, it's really all hard to go from last week, which was like cream of the crop releases, where like even the bad releases were good last week, and this week it's just a bit flat. I feel like everyone wasted all the good releases last week. This song was just okay. Again, it was all right. Might listen to it again, but I'm not like this. I do not yearn for the tune. 3 out of 5.
Okay, Monkey, Queen of Hearts. I really like this. I gave it a 4 because I like it, like personally like it. Monkey's a really cool producer, DJ, and fantastic broadcaster. And if you ever listen to any of her shows that are on Radio
sick.
1, she's sick, yeah. I gave it 4. I liked it. Joe, what? As I'm looking through these, there's quite a few good ones the more I look into them, because I've listened to a lot of these because I thought it was a bit of a struggle this week trying to find new releases because there wasn't many. And we were talking off the pod saying it wasn't that great for releases, but as much as there's some stinkers, there's some actually quite good ones. So, okay, moving on. Trapdoor, Gorgon City. Pav?
Shall I just play the tape and walk away?
Yeah.
It was all right. 3 out of 5. It's just nothing special. It was okay. Again, I would probably listen to it. It might go in a warm up. If it was on DJ City and it was free, I would download it and not play it. 3 out of 5.
I love that Gorgon City is still out here, still producing like quality tunes. And I know this isn't like, it's not going to be like one of their kind of smash hit standout records, but I get that for sure.
You should have told the record label that before they released this week.
but it's still wicked to, and it's great them sticking to like their proper club roots and high quality produced house music. I just love it. 4 out of 5 drinks for me.
Were we both expecting a 3 then from Chris?
No, I thought he might like this one. I had a suspicion about this. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks as well because it's really dark and moody, and like I can imagine it being in a smoky club, like with lasers. And I wish clubs were open, so I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Wait,
this week makes you. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll segue a little bit. This week is really making me like. Yeah, if you could put some background music in. This week is really making me miss clubs because a lot of these tracks.
Oh, sorry. No, you carry on. I'm just doing some background for you, mate.
No, I thought you did that in like post production.
Carry on, mate. I'm just laying the scene for you.
Pav, I'm trying to hold back the tears. No, this week's releases I've come to realise are all like very clubby, and we don't have that. No. So let's move on. Boris Johnson.
We'll rephrase that. There was loads of pop stuff.
There was loads of pop stuff as well.
But we already sort of prejudged it to all be shit, and we were like, we don't want to listen to any of that. So we were like, well, let's keep it in with brand because we're pretty cool music listeners. And we were like, do we want to listen to Shawn Mendes or do we want to listen to Solardo? And well, we can see which one wins.
There you go.
Won, and we can see which podcast won, and it's not us because we just got stinkers on stinkers.
No, look, there's some alright ones. Moving on, Ain't the Same, Jammer and JME. Pav,
this one was a 4 because you see when JME drops a little melody in that. Nah, it's too much. JME's actually the GOAT. Like, if he wanted to be, the problem is, Pav, you call everyone.
I was going to say, That's like Pav's catchphrase.
Yeah, but it's like different sections. You can't just be like, oh, he's the goat and he's the goat. And
Pav's
like,
got a full
Yeah,
farm.
I was going to say he's got a whole pen full of goats. Got a whole farm.
yeah, because he's the goat of grime. That's a fact. No one can step to JME. That's just a thing.
None of us are disagreeing with you. It's just the fact you use the word goat a lot.
Yeah. Been watching too much basketball now. That's a thing.
Goat means greatest of all times. There's only normally one, maybe two. Greatest of all time. It means greatest ever. No one's better.
Yeah, but different sections. You got to do that.
It's a turn of phrase.
You keep stocking up that farm. You keep stocking up
I
that
get
farm.
it.
Yeah, man's out here. But when he does a little melody in that, Jamie's too much. He's like a B-Tech Deneo, and I love that. So you got
I would put Jamie above Deneo. No disrespect to
No. I
Deneo.
think like with the whole melody, you know, like how like Deneo does like
thing. Okay.
Deneo does singing with rap, whereas
Yeah.
Jamie's like rapping with singing. Like if you listen to that Deneo song Black with Jamie and Dizzy Rascal, all of the ad libs are done by Jamie on that because he was like messing around in the booth, and then Deneo was like, "Oh well, that's pretty cool." So I've just recorded it and used it for the whole track, and that's like. If you can keep up with Deneo like that, then you're rated in it. But yeah, I gave it a 4.
This actually goes in. It's got a nice bop to it. It's difficult to kind of really pin it down to something. It's just got a nice little bop to it. It's cool to see Jammer like spitting bars as well. Like he actually goes in. Like
Jammer's dead. Let's be honest. Jammer's dead.
But you don't see this side of him. You don't see this side of him, do you?
That's because he can't bar.
No, but he can. Listen to the tune.
No, he can't.
Listen to the tune.
Wait. It's the fact that Chris went. It's nice to see Gemma actually spitting bars. As if to say, all your other songs have been shit, man.
No, I'm not being funny. Yeah. No. Listen to me 1 second. After Merkel, man, name another good verse by Jammer. Apart from this song.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He
name
has
one
them
more.
because
I want you to name one verse, Chris. I don't want you to like give me like any discography. I need one other verse apart from Merkel, man.
Okay, yeah. His first verse in "Ain't the Same" by Jammer and Jamie.
Apart from that, I said apart from that as well.
Oh, okay.
But the funny thing is this a repeat of Chris being? I'm a really big fan of Janine Aiko.
Who?
Well, I've not said Jammer wrong. That's how you Jammer.
No,
Jamais.
No, but
Jamais.
No, but I'm saying,
Jamir.
is this a repeat where you're like, yeah, I'm a really big fan, and you actually just have only listened to this song?
Well,
absolutely.
If that's true,
name one
then I like
one
this
more
song.
verse that Jammer's good on. Name one more verse. One more, please. Give me one verse.
I can't.
One verse.
You put me on the spot. I haven't done my research.
Chris, I'll give you a get out of jail free card. Just give your rating, and we can move on.
4 out of 5. Big ups, Jammer. The tune's sick.
I can't believe that. Okay, Jammer and Jamie ain't the same. I gave it 4 out of 5 as well. Jamie shines on this track and makes Jammer look really good, and Jammer does have some quite good bars on it as well. Okay, moving on. The next track, Vintage Culture, featuring Elise Legros. It's called It Is What It Is on the Mighty Defected Records. Chris?
Big up Defected.
Are you a fan, Chris?
I don't know if I mentioned that.
Hang on. Whoa, did you call them Defected by then?
Defected. Big up Defected.
Big up,
Big up. Love Defected.
That's getting clipped up.
Love Defected. This one, absolutely loved it. So funky, really good production. The vocals wicked. 4 out of 5 drinks. More of this, please. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this tune as well, to be fair. This was like one of my other few non-3 out of 5s. This did get a 4. I really liked the way that the song flowed. I really liked the vocal. Can't really argue with that. Just didn't quite hit a 5. Like there was something missing. Couldn't tell you what it is. Maybe it was a vibe thing. But 4 out of 5 is a very, very solid effort. And in all reality, 4 out of 5 gets you track of the week this week. So, yeah.
That's
4 out of 5 will get track of the week from all 3 of us. Unless there's a 5 coming up. And there might be 1.
Well. So everything you've just said is pointless there. Okay. Vintage Culture featuring Elise Legros. It's called It Is What It Is. It's from Defected Records. I gave it 4 out of 5. Really groovy. Love the bass line. The vocal is sick. And yeah, it's just missing something to get a 5. I agree with you there, Pav. But again, I think it's one that if you could play it in a club, it would be a straight 5 after a few plays, but no clubs. Okay, next track's called Everybody. It's by Little Baby. Pav?
This got a 3 out of 5. It was all right. Literally, again, it was fine. I had no real complaints about it, though.
It would be nice to hear Lil Baby rapping about something like, I don't know, like just tell a bit of a story with the raps as opposed to just like flexing. Like, because he's, as an artist, his work rate is unreal. The visuals are always sick and he has got some cool bars, but it'd be nice to hear just maybe a bit more of like a story being told in the bars. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, Everybody by Little Baby. I gave it a 2. I just, I don't know. I've heard better Little Baby.
Sorry to jump in. The video is sick. I don't know if you clocked the video. I thought the video was wicked.
I've not watched
the video. The video was cool.
You're actually our like ear to the. You're like our canary down the mine for the videos.
Because I love a good video. And this one ticked the box. But yeah, sorry, Wade, go on.
No, I got a 2. I've heard better Little Baby. I'm sure if I watch the video, I'd get a 3. Okay, moving on. Next track by Juice WRLD and Benny Blanco is called Real Shit. Oh, Chris?
Big collab for, Juice WRLD, Benny Blanco. It goes in. And it's just, 3 out of 5 drinks. Feeling it.
I don't like
this is your cue, Pat.
Yeah, no. I was just I was using the pause for dramatic effect.
Oh,
but I can't now, so fuck that.
We start again. Just pause for a second. We'll have a moment of silence for you if you want, and go.
I was disappointed with this track. I expect so much more from Benny Blanco, like. Because when I see his name on a record, normally I'm like, straight hit. This was not it. It was just a 3. It was just mediocre. Maybe that's a thing because so many of his songs are so good.
He's set the bar really high. Very high. He has
set the bar really high. Like he's got such a wide range of tune, which is great. Like even that, the tune Lonely with Justin Bieber, that's a really, really good song that obviously Benny Blanco's on. And I'm like, okay, he can do everything. But this one was just like, this was I've got that Logic project from 4 years ago, guys. Shall we just release this one? Because it was just left and then needed something. 3 out of 5, just okay. Expect more from you, Benny, because you're a G.
Real Shit. Juice WRLD and Benny Blanco. Yeah, I gave it a 3. I thought the same thing. I thought, especially having Juice WRLD, I was like, I wished it was better. Yeah, it just Benny Blanco set a very high bar. So, sorry. Okay, moving on. Track's called Losers by Rico Nasty and it features Trippie Redd. Pav?
Trippie Redd's just not that good, is he? Let's be honest. Trippie Redd's just not like when you lose obviously he had a little beef with KSI not that long ago. Because they did like a video and KSI, they said to KSI like, oh, who's like the hardest person to work with? And he said, oh, Trippie Redd, because he took too long. He was taking the piss to send the verse and they got into like a little beef. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But you're allowed to be a knob like that if you're really, like if Dr. Dre's sending the beat late, wait, that's fine. Just sit there because he is the GOAT. But like, or like if Snoop's like, give me another week, you're like, yeah, okay. Trippie Redd's doing that, you're like, nah. Because he's just not that good. And this record shows it because it's a 3 at best. But it does get a 3.
This is your point, Chris, to come in.
Yeah, Chris.
I loved...
In fact, Chris, I actually think the whole thing of saying the number and then the next person talking might have even been your idea. That makes it worse.
What a brilliant idea. Right. Loser, Rico Nasty featuring Trippie Redd.
You've literally fell asleep during this process. I can tell because you're like, oh shit, what are we talking about now?
Hold on. My head's in the music. All I hear is these songs.
What a load of bullshit.
Shut the fuck up.
Loser, Rico Nasty. Love the guitar sample. There's a few areas of the tune that just didn't really agree with me, if I'm being brutally honest. Again, I'd love that guitar sample using some of my own tracks, but yeah, 2 out of 5 drinks for me.
Oh,
Okay, Loser, Rico Nasty featuring Trippie Redd. I gave it 3. I thought it was okay. I like the guitar sample. Yeah, you're right. Trippie Redd don't really do much on it, does he? So,
okay,
last
didn't send
track.
his verse in time.
Maybe speak to KSI about that. Last track of the reviews this week, and in my opinion, the best track. BB King Freestyle, Lil Wayne featuring Drake. Chris,
When it came in, I nearly pulled up the YouTube video. How it just comes in like just straight up, just like that was just scratched in, and then Drizzy's there just doing his thing. Just love it. How can you hate on something like this? 4 out of 5 drinks, straight up, legends.
Yeah, I felt kind of the same, man. It's just like I was like, it was really bad because I don't read the songs on the review. I just listen to the playlist and go through it and then have a look at each name by name. So I don't see the artists. So I give it like a fairer representation of the tunes. So I didn't know this song was coming, and I was like, this song was trash. This song was trash. This song was trash. Then I thought the playlist had shuffled and gone to something else, and I was like, this is none this week's, is it? I was like, oh shit, Drake released. Great. Thanks for fucking saving the week, Drake. Cheers for that, mate. This got a 4. What I always love about Drake features like this, because it was a typical Drake beat. It's not really a Lil Wayne song. More time it's Drake's tune, let's be honest. But
it's off Lil Wayne's No Ceilings 3 mixtape, so
yeah, but Drake has a very good way of always putting himself first on a feature.
Listen, as Drake once said, every song sounds like Drake featuring Drake. Straight. There you go.
Well, this one is featuring Drake, thankfully.
There you go.
The way that I love that he's always first on a feature, because more time, I can't think of any artist Drake makes a collab with and isn't bigger than them. So more time, everyone's looking for the Drake verse. So it's great that he's just first on it anyway. I do like that. It gets a 4 out of 5 for me.
Okay, BB King Freestyle, Lil Wayne featuring Drake off Lil Wayne's latest mixtape, No Ceilings 3. I gave it 5.
Oh,
This is the Drake and Lil Wayne shit that I love. Like
it
they
was
used to
deep.
collab
The
quite,
bars were deep.
yeah, they used to collab quite a lot back in the day. Obviously, they've both gone in separate ways, but Lil Wayne brought Drake into the spotlight, and yeah, just sounds like a old school Drake and Lil Wayne track, and I love that. Maybe it's the standout track of the mixtape. Yeah, I can't judge that. You've got to listen to the mixtape for yourself. But it's the only 5 this week, and realistically, could you see me giving anyone else a 5? Bless you with
Thank you.
this on there. No. Okay, should we get into track of the week?
Let's go. This is going to be hard.
Cool. Everyone sounds really excited for it. Chris, you go first. Enthusiasm.
It's gonna
Come on, Chris.
It's gonna have to be Vintage Culture. It is what it is on Defected Records. Funkiest thing I've heard. Track of the week for me. It is what it is.
Good choice. Chris is trying to get signed. Pav?
That's so true.
Well, I'm not getting signed to Def Jam, mate. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
What?
you just produce some hip hop, mate.
Well, could do.
You only need some kicks and snares, couple of hats.
Got,
and you're done.
got plenty of
Some
those.
808s.
Got plenty of
Yeah.
those.
And 808s and heartbreaks. You're there.
Mm.
Oh. Pav, track of the
Reference.
week.
I can't even choose. Oh,
You can.
but I mean, I can. I would probably have to say, based on the fact that it's the only one I would actually go back and listen to properly, apart from the Drake one. It is what it is. Vintage Culture. That has to be my track.
Pav,
of the
you're
week.
trying to get signed as well. Oh, you're so shallow, mate. I hate
Yeah,
it.
but the problem is my production's fucking shit. So they're definitely, if they sign me, it's full nepotism.
Well, there you go. That's the music industry nowadays. So.
Okay, my track of the week, obviously, is the BB King freestyle Lil Wayne featuring Drake. I thought that was the best track of the whole lot, but I can understand the Vintage Culture one.
That was the
Nice,
only competitor, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay, so this week's track of the weeks are It Is What It Is by Vintage Culture featuring Elise Legros and BB King freestyle Lil Wayne featuring Drake. Oh, that was a hard segment to get through. The was hard to get that many releases this week. Slow time
And they
in the
were
music
shit.
industry. Not all of them.
They were okay, but the problem is there's normally at least one. We all normally give at least 1 5. At least.
Yeah.
This week, that was a struggle.
And there you go. Just Defected came in and just saved it all. We can just got to be grateful.
Sorry, I think Young Money come in and saved it
All
all,
Young Money.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they even Young Money anymore?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
still going.
Because
Isn't it?
No, I don't.
Because of
Lil Wayne's still got the thing going on, I think.
yeah, like
'Cause it was Young Money, Cash Money. It separated from Cash Money and was independent on Young Money.
yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, isn't it?
And they all go off and make their own little sub labels. Like Drake's got OVO, and then The Weeknd went off and made XO and all this
So
stuff.
I read something interesting about that once. Drake really wanted to sign The Weeknd. So he actually didn't sign OVO through Young Money, Cash Money, because he was like, there's too many sub labels then. So he signed OVO to Warner Direct instead of Cash Money, so he could sign The Weeknd. And as soon as he did it, The Weeknd made his own label with Warner.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a peak, as that is.
Okay, well that's the news and reviews this week.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah,
we were going to
crowd
talk.
cheer,
We were going to
everyone
talk
crowd.
a bit coronavirus. Let's talk some coronavirus. Because I'll
Well,
be
what
honest,
else is there to talk about?
I'm fucked off. I'll be honest, I'm fucked off. It's not because of lockdown
Living
or
that tier
anything.
3 lifestyle.
I don't
you're in
even
tier
care
three,
about that.
aren't you?
Like, I've got a beer pump, so like, beer's cool. Got some whiskey. It's all good. Like, I can
Alcohol
live with
gets you
that.
through it.
We're still allowed to play. We're still playing five-a-side because all that kind of stuff's open. And the gym's open, so I'm good. I can live with that. The thing that's fucking me off is I had an idea.
You were going to say
in
something earlier about
March.
vaccine. Is that what it is?
I had an idea in March, like when this kicked off, and I was like, oh my God, I should be a politician. This is just such a fucking
should.
good idea. And literally today, the government has announced what I said in March. And it's
Which
really
was?
annoying. So I basically said in March, I was like, oh, well, what we should do, even if we want to just get stuff open, because we've all seen these photos outside like Harrods and shit like that, where there's like 1 million fucking people all like stood together. Like there was
Regent
some
Street.
people were that close. There was some non-consensual sex in that group because it was dick on ass action the whole way through.
Jesus.
Like genuinely, it's like, oh, I don't even know how to explain. Like they're so tightly packed. It was mad. And I basically said, oh, if they want to open the clubs early, what we should do is you've got to take a test, not one of these rapid tests. Pay for the test. And then when it's, oh yeah, you're negative, get like a notification, like a card, almost like a driving license type thing, to say, oh yeah, I've had the test on this day. It was negative, or I've had the vaccine. You're all cool. Stamp, and you stamp the day and put your name and stuff on it. And I was like, you can just go do it at your GP or whatever. Like they got space to do it. And literally today, the government were like, oh, well, we've come up with this really great idea that we should give everyone ID cards to see if they've had the test or not, or if they've had the vaccine. And I was like, you cunts get paid a lot more money to
No,
come up
I'm
with
just
those
saying,
ideas.
if I could make a fake ID to get into a club at 16, surely people are going to be able to make fake
Yeah, I did
ID
think
stamp
that.
cards.
Don't incriminate yourself. Fuck you know.
Oh, it's all right. It's okay.
There's two statute of limitations has passed.
All stories in this No Drinks in the Booth episode are fictional. Just covering your back there, mate.
Thanks. Oh, I forgot you got a law degree. Oh, yeah. Yes.
So when you were 16,
everyone listening, what my lawyer said. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you were 16 inside Prism, what were you doing? Let's be honest. That's a problem. I don't want to call out venues, but there's some venues that you go to.
I wouldn't bother.
I'm not
I
calling
wouldn't-
out any
you wanna-
venues.
You want a job after this?
Yeah,
didn't
I
you?
wouldn't
How
do
many
that.
clubs
Calling
are
out a job.
open?
I'm not calling out any venues, so therefore I'm not going to name names. There's always one venue in every city that you go to, and you know everybody's under 18, but it's a normal night, and you're standing there like, I am a nonce.
Speak for yourself. Okay. Yeah. Well, look.
Well, probably fucking Chris in the corner.
What? We're talking about when I was 16. Look, this has gone on way too long. Let's just get back on track. My point is,
16-year-old Chris.
My point is,
In the club. We'll say
Yeah.
club. Could have been youth club.
yes, thank
It's
you.
not. It's
Listen
in
to my lawyer.
Chelmsford.
Look,
You can.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, you
Because
can't.
they're
How
still
can you?
debating
If I
about
can
if
do
I'm
that,
wrong or
how
if
can
you
you
think
not
I'm right or
fake like
whatever.
a stamped
Whoever
card or
does the
something or whatever? How are they going to
behavioural,
make sure you can't
science
fake
for the
it? Yeah, exactly.
government.
This is going to be the problem, isn't it?
Are they fucking high or something? Like what? Like they were going to a lockdown.
Oh,
and
did
we
you see that
opened
thing
on
earlier?
the
What
first
this
week
thing on
of
Facebook?
December,
And this guy
and
basically,
they're like, "Oh, why is
they
everyone
spent
going shopping now?"
£600 at
Like,
this restaurant and bought one
You'd
Scotch
assume
egg.
people would like the behavioural
And they bought
scientists. People would know this,
and this is what made me just
and that people would
like,
order one Scotch egg and get
increase
absolutely
my
blind drunk.
love for humanity
Like-
and my faith in humanity. They bought 63 Peronis and one Scotch egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not being funny. If a portion of chips, if I'm going out, is £3 and it's a tiny portion of chips, I don't give a shit,
And
because
the other
that
thing is,
£3 has
in all
basically
the tiers, besides,
facilitated
I
me
think,
having
tier one,
7 pints,
which no one is in besides Cornwall.
which I'm going to spend more money
Isle
on than
of
what it's
Wight.
worth anyway, because everyone knows. If
You
I'm
can't
going
mix with
out,
other households.
like, you're spending so
Yeah,
much more
yeah.
than what the actual alcohol's worth anyway, because you're spending
can't
it
mix
to
with
drink
other
it in their
households.
premises because of vibe or whatever the case may be. £3 extra on £100 or whatever I'm going to spend.
This
or
is the
50
thing, though,
quid,
if you can't
if someone says,
mix
you can spend £30 and
households-
it's illegal, it's £33 and it's legal.
This
I'll
is a
spend the
really
fucking
serious
£33,
point. Just
like
fucking
I'll
let
have
me
3,
say
4
it.
pints, 5 pints, whatever.
Well, that's
How
what's
many
happening,
people did
isn't
you
it?
see out
Fucking
this weekend,
stupid.
Chris? Because I saw loads, yeah. And where we live, yeah, I come under London, you come under Essex. You can't mix
Pricks.
households. But the amount of people that are like, we're just saying we're from one household.
Yeah, because it's Cornwall's
Like, I
fault.
know so many
and the Isle
people
of
that have
Wight's
been out this
fault.
weekend.
Pav's hate for the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, yeah.
In fairness, they've
There's
probably
there's
got
20
more
of you.
coronavirus
Zasha.
cases in like Tumbleweed there,
So,
because
like,
there's literally
that-
fuck all.
Yeah, and my point is, whoever does the behavioural science for the government
I love
is definitely
that.
not qualified.
Sorry, mate,
and
I'm not
definitely
gonna
got in
interrupt,
by lying
sorry.
in their CV.
Wait, go on. Wait, go on.
Wow.
Yeah, loads. Mm.
Yeah, like it's really
'cause-
not that hard to be like, oh yeah, but we live together now.
Yeah, that's what everyone does.
Well, I think after this weekend, I think the general public, I would say, has
like, it's that
really come
easy.
to realise that
beds.
hospitality, arts, entertainment, well, not that, they've just been used as scapegoats when like you show photos
I
of
mean, in
Regent Street
fairness,
and people are like, come on.
Our fucking prime
So,
minister did that.
I don't know. Look, the whole
Why do you expect the rest of the fucking stuff to do? Like, it's just bad. Like,
Yes, it's getting a bit
it's-
mad.
I don't even have words to explain it, because it's like, it's almost like they're doing it half-half just so they've got an excuse in case it goes wrong, to be like, oh well, you guys fucked it up again, didn't you?
yeah.
We're fucked.
They won't understand coronavirus, yeah.
I'll put it like this. My dad works at a school, yeah? My dad works at a special needs school as well. So, like, it's not even like at a normal primary school with, like, general behaving kids. you can explain to them why you need to social distance XYZ, like, and they understand. The people that come to these kind of schools that my dad worked, a lot of them are, like, could be like 8 or 9 and can't write their name. So like they're on the lowest tier of conventional knowledge. Like they don't know these things. You can't tell them, oh, distance 2 meters XYZ.
Wow.
But so this is the protocol if you get coronavirus and you work at a school. If you take the first test and it's positive, you go home and isolate. But after the school day's finished, because you're already there now, so you might as well just fucking carry on. And
that's
then
mental.
Well,
no, this
that's
is
so
actually the
stupid,
rules.
in my opinion.
This is actually the rules. And then you've got to do 10 days of what's it called? Of isolation, 5 days of incubation, they call it, which is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And if you've got no symptoms by the end of it, you just go back to work. You don't check if you're asymptomatic and take another test just in case you're asymptomatic and you spread it to the whole fucking school, which is absolutely possible.
Yeah, very true.
You just go back in.
Oh God, this I
that
don't
thing
know
about
you, like,
staying
just-
at
I know
school
we
for
do
the rest of the
podcast
day
every week,
after
we
you've
talk
received
about
a
what's
positive
happening.
test. I mean,
The only thing that
seriously?
is happening is
That can't be a
coronavirus.
thing.
It's a bit tiring.
That's
Do you not
just
find
insane.
like you feel like I feel coronavirus
they're
out?
it's just bad. And
That's
I'm like,
insane.
so the stats even still now.
Okay, fair enough.
If anything, hospitality being closed has just helped the stats for us because now it looks even better. Because hospitality coronavirus cases is like 1%. There's only 2 places that have lower. That's NHS hospitals and prisons. And prisons, no one's fucking going in or out.
Yes,
Mad. No, because I just do what I want now.
the thing. Oh my God.
I don't care about the rules.
Fair.
Let's be real. Let's be 100% real. Absolutely no one can say they've 100% followed the rules completely. That's why I didn't shit on Rita Ora too much, because I was like, bottom line is, if I was that rich, you bet your fucking bottom dollar I was having a party for my birthday.
Pav, yes,
we
I would
was
have
there,
gone
bro.
to your
You two pricks would have been there. Do you know what I mean? This would have been a no drinks in the
You
booth
can tell.
stain
That's why it's
sessions
not comedy.
fucking loving, mate. I would put fucking some decks out and we would all play on the same
No,
decks just to spread
hypothetically,
that
you'd
shit.
be there.
I'm not sitting at home anymore. This is happening. I'm not sitting at yard, bruv. Because you know what? If schools can have 46% of all cases and workplaces can have 23% of all cases,
I think now people
hospitality
are following the
can have
rules
2%
to their
of all
own
cases
sort of degree
and
of
get closed.
safety.
It's all
Which I
fucking bollocks
understand.
anyway. And that's just a fact.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Oh, thanks. I'll send you a message after this.
I'd be there.
Prick.
Pav, when is it? When's your birthday?
I mean, it happened in October, but
Yeah. I also wasn't in clubs when I was 16.
we were like deep in lockdown actually during my birthday, so I didn't do anything really, but it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Just drank many beers. This is my bottom line, and this is one thing that fucks me off as well. Yeah, the places that like spread the most, schools, etc., etc. Supermarkets is another massive one. You go Tesco, and these cunts haven't even got masks on, and I'm like, all you motherfuckers can't have asthma. You like ain't bought an inhaler since fucking
great.
05, bro. Don't tell me you got asthma, yeah.
You should.
Because I could drop I've got asthma, but I haven't taken an inhaler for about 10, 12 years because I
the
can
funny
fucking
thing
breathe.
is, you are actually quite right
the
about the
mask
supermarkets,
restricts
because
my breathing. Shut the fuck
out of
up
the last
and put
three,
it on.
the last 3 podcasts we've
Otherwise,
done,
open the
I've actually had
motherfucking
to go
club because
Tesco
I just
after
want to
the
go
podcast.
to the covered wagon and have some fucking
you
butter
know,
chicken, my
'cause we
vegetable
talk about what's your
biryani.
ingredients
Yes.
I'm not
and
even
we get
going to
hungry.
like it, but I'm going to have
I've had to get
it
other
just
stuff.
because I can. can.
and I go fairly
And a
late.
fucking
So I'm
pint
not even
of
going at a
Cobra.
peak time.
Put the fucking masks on, you
And
pricks, or stop fucking
yeah, these
complaining.
fuckers just bought like.
I'm
I'm
inspired.
not
That's
even
a
joking.
speech.
So the other day I
Path
was
for Prime Minister.
at Tesco.
Path for Prime
Do you
Minister.
become a motivational speaker?
I think so. I'd go to
and,
every
just
talk.
every speech.
Fucking
Stop
hell.
being
So
cunts,
literally,
guys.
I'm not even joking. So I was at the meal deal bit trying to get a
catch on.
sandwich and stuff, and this woman was next to me on the phone, and I had a basket, and I looked over. There's me all masked up, looking like I'm going to rob somewhere, and
Like a meal deal thing.
she's sort of like holding this sandwich on FaceTime to her friend
Yeah.
while heavily pregnant, talking about how heavily pregnant she is, yeah, and just not got a mask on and stuff, and sort of picking up sandwiches, going, nah, don't have to like, nah, picking up stuff, putting it down. I'm thinking like,
People are like trying
love,
to catch
like,
wine
like,
from you,
you're,
like in the
I don't know,
shelves, because they're like
dangerous.
walking that close. Innit?
Yeah, like that's, you're pregnant, like Jesus, like wear a mask for your kid. It was the fact she was touching everything. Like if I was heavily pregnant, obviously I can't be, but if I was, one, I'd wear a mask. Well, that's a different podcast. My point is, hypothetically, if I was pregnant, if I couldn't wear a mask for a medical reason, like that might be viable, yeah. But when I was in the meal deal section, I wouldn't be picking up stuff and putting it down because other people might have touched it. That's what I'm saying, where people generally pick shit up all the time.
You're
and put
gonna
it back.
die first. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be.
Well, I thought, well, your kid hates you. It's not even involved.
So
But,
rugged,
well,
that.
that's life. Look, I'm getting hungry. Should we talk about what's your order? Because let's face it, it's the best part of the podcast these days. Pav, it's all
Especially
over
the
to
meal
you.
deal section. Like if it's like tomato soup, it's calm.
I don't know.
But like, you could be
the
like,
one,
oh, I
you're
don't
the
like
one that's
this
meant to
ham
keep
and
track of
mustard.
it
Let
because
me
it's
put that
your
down.
thing.
Like you're looking at, because you got to find the right sandwich, and sometimes like certain ones
Tesco.
are behind others, and so you might have to touch
McDonald's.
multiple sandwiches.
So this is the
what
fifth.
a fucking bitch!
Basically, we're going to do this segment until we've run out of places. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah.
What's your
probably.
order? Tell me what's your order. Ooh. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yes.
Right. What's your order? Week number 4?
Who knows? We're doing it every week from now on.
Well, we've done Subway, Indian, Tesco, meal deal,
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
So this is number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Week 5, baby. So in like
Yeah.
about 3 weeks' time.
Probably.
Yeah. Wow. Pizza. Important one. The pizza is my favorite binge food. You just can't go wrong with it. I had some pizza on, what did I have some pizza? I had pizza on Saturday and it was peng. So I want to know from you guys where you get your pizza from, toppings, if you're getting any sides, because more time, if you're buying pizza, you're buying sides at the same time because you got to get the deal in it. That's it, and sauce. You got to say what sauce you
Well,
have, or none if you're not sauce.
Let me kick it off because I went last. I went last week. So straight up, Domino's is the only real delivery option, unless you have like a really good independent, like specialist sort of place.
Yeah, but there's not really any of
But
them.
there's not really any of them.
It's not New York.
No, exactly. So it's going to be Domino's, and it's going to be
Are you not Pizza Hutting?
no, because I had Pizza Hut delivery a few weeks back, and do you know what? It was awful, literally horrendous. They got the meal all wrong. My friend who's a vegetarian, he asked for a vegetarian, whatever the vegetarian standard
Biryani.
one was.
Well, especially during
I wish it was a biryani. If it was a biryani, I would have
It's
taken
only
it and given
gonna
him a
get
£5 tip. He asked for whatever the vegetarian option was, and
eating that
it came
COVID
with pepperoni on top. He asked for no garlic sprinkles. It had extra garlic sprinkles.
Domino's, yeah.
The wrong crust. I swear to you, it was awful. And did you know that when they came to swap. It was Pizza Hut delivery. When they came to take the pizza, they actually came back to take the pizza. So they didn't leave the pizza. They actually had to take the bad pizza away. And I don't know if that. I know I'm reading too much into it, but seriously, could have just left the pizza.
I don't want to just give you a free fucking pizza, mate.
Well, it's just.
Nah, let's be honest. They're munching that on a lunch break.
I just thought that was crazy. You know, the customer's in the right, and it's Anyway, sorry. Quickly back to my order. Domino's stuffed crust. Then I go on the top pepperoni, beef, jalapenos, peppers.
Wow.
Onions. Make sure you get the extra large garlic dip, because the one that comes with Domino's is absolutely way too small. You need the extra dip pot for £1. And then obviously you get cheesy garlic bread and wedges for your two sides in the meal which they normally do, which I think is the Tuesday meal, but I've had that on weekends, so it must be called something else.
They just do it every day.
They do it every day, that whatever that meal is. And that's it. That's how you do a pizza, in my opinion. Who's next?
I'll just hit you with a fact before that, because we're talking about the deal.
Look, put it this way, it actually completely agree with your argument before as well. It's nothing that's going to blow my mind, but it was very tasty. I'm hypothetically.
That's why they do.
Okay,
good business model.
Am I going next, or do you want to go next, Pav?
Oh, sorry, of course. Right, my order. What do you reckon?
So my order is from Domino's as well, because Pizza Hut is wank.
I'll give it 4 to be fair.
Me.
It's pretty solid.
Do you know what it is? It's just for it's like I admit it's not like massively exciting, but it's just satisfying. Like it will do the job.
Domino's pizza.
It's nothing exotic.
I
wouldn't be disappointed if I was like,
during the lockdown in the summer,
I'll be like,
we were getting their pizza literally every weekend, because they made them like personal, so it was enough for one person. And it was like really well priced and like really tasty. So I want to shout them out, Leopard Pizza, but they've shut down. So no, it is sad because we really like their pizza. But let's be honest, on a standard, what do I get? Domino's. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did at one point a few years back divert, and I was getting from Papa John's. Yeah. I'll be honest, I would Papa John at a service station if there wasn't a Domino's available, but I wouldn't get a Papa John delivered. Just because they've never... Yeah. If it's there, I'd eat it 100%.
If you're in a different city,
I don't think I'd get it delivered, because whenever we've had it delivered, it's just been okay. As in, the Domino's has always been substantial.
This is the only one that I thought was going to be the curveball, because I've not Papa John'd.
Look, it's 2 for Tuesday, so I've got 2 pizzas. Stations. Sorry, boys,
because they do have Papa John's, like over Pizza Express.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've Papa John'd. Tuesday. Look, if you're getting Domino's, you've got to do 2 for Tuesday, or buy one get one free, or whatever the fuck it is. But 2 for Tuesday is the vibe. Okay, the first pizza. There's variations
only
of
if it's
this.
there.
It's either pepperoni on Italian crust, or it's American hot, which is pepperoni with jalapenos on Italian crust.
I'm with you.
Yeah. The only reason I say it depends is because sometimes I'm not in the mood for spice, and other times I am. With exactly that, times are hard. Yeah,
I'm glad that you did that first, because I was also going to do that.
Okay. The second pizza, which is pretty much a staple in my household, is the Texas barbecue on Italian. Yeah, man. And I equally enjoy my American hot pepperoni. Well, look, that's why it's 2 for Tuesday, because when we do pizza, we do American pizza. It's not like I just get my own pizza, or it's with my girlfriend, and equally we do 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah. Or you haven't got enough toilet roll.
Texas barbecue, which is chicken, peppers, red onions.
Yeah, stick it in the fridge, guys. That works.
With a Texas barbecue base on Italian crust. I'm gonna list you the sauces we get: garlic and herb, obviously, big one, like Chris said. I like honey mustard, so I get the honey and mustard sauce as well.
No,
and if you've not had it, Honestly, with
was going so
pepperoni
well.
or American Hot, it's if you like honey mustard, you'll like it. With pepperoni or American Hot, it is literally flames. That's the order.
The chicken kickers are the vibe. You would have got a 5 if I didn't hear Tex-Mex, I'll be honest. So it's a 4.
Yeah, I'll give that 4 out of 5.
It's a solid order.
Solid order.
Yeah. Well, let me jump in. I never knew honey mustard was a thing, but that's gonna become a thing. Like the next time I might even order pizza today just so I can get honey mustard.
Honestly, try it and you'll love it.
So my order, generally speaking, Domino's every time, always Domino's. Stuffed crust, and if they've got a special stuffed crust, I'm getting that. Like they've done like pepperoni stuffed crust, barbecue stuffed crust. I'm getting one of them. They're pretty good. Pepperoni, mushrooms, sweet corn on the first pizza.
Sweet corn. I like that. I like sweet corn on pizza.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going for. And then the second pizza usually ends up being either like a meat fielder or meteor. So it's generally like the meat fielder is generally the one that we go for, which is like pepperoni, sausage, ham, bacon. That's normally quite good. Or the one that I've recently moved to, which is like the American Hot, it's called the Sizzler, which is pepperoni, chicken tikka, onions, and jalapenos. That one's great as well. It's a really nice pizza. Big garlic dip or big smoky barbecue dip, depending on which one I'm having. Chicken kickers are a must because chicken kickers and garlic herb sauce are banging. They are a banging combo. And then you just got to get a garlic bread in it because the garlic bread just is good.
Just does it? Just does the business.
It just is really good. I could eat just the garlic bread.
Oh, see, I can take it or leave the garlic bread. I'm not fussed about garlic bread.
However, I'm going to go controversial because I do also, depending on who's got the better deal, order from Pizza Hut because there's a Pizza Hut very close to my house.
I don't trust Pizza Hut.
So I get the same. I generally get the same pizzas, stuffed crust or cheesy bites because cheesy bites are elite. Let's be honest.
I've never had them.
It's like loads of little stuffed crusts.
Oh, I've seen them. I've just never.
Yeah, they're amazing. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's the same sensation.
Oh,
but like you get like that when you have a stuffed crust, you know, and you like eat it and like the cheese pops out like from the pressure. But you get that all the time, and that's great.
Nice.
However, Pizza Hut have a game changer in the pizza industry, and that is they do this thing called tear and share. Don't know if you've seen this.
I've seen it. I've not had it.
Amazing. So it's basically a garlic bread that they fill with cheese in the inside. So they like fold it up and fill with cheese and then put cheese on the top and they put toppings on top and you just like tear it away and it's like finger sized, but it's like bread, cheese topping. And they do that with like bacon and jalapenos and that's elite. So I've got to give that a special mention because it's
nice.
Pretty top tier. But yeah. Domino's generally though, because it's just better.
Yeah. See, I would try Pizza Hut again, but the one near me is shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one near me, it's like Domino's, they're very consistent.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut's is, if it's a good one, it's a good one. The only thing I'll say with Pizza Hut is the dips are shit.
Yes. No one likes the dips.
Domino's dips are undefeated.
Undefeated on every level.
100%. What are you giving my order though?
I'll give it a 4.
I think a 4 as well. I think we've all done really well this week.
We've all got solid orders, but they're just not quite there for all of us because of like sauce or like one topping. I'll just drop that. Cool.
They're not like mind-blowing orders.
So before we segue out of this podcast, Pav, what's your order for next week?
Well, we got a couple of choices, lads. Depends what the fuck you like eat.
Everything.
We could go for what do you get from the chippy? Because I'm assuming nobody here just gets fish and chips consistently.
No, not consistently. No, not every time. Could do that.
Oh. Are you going to the chippy every time and getting a cod and chips?
Most times, to be fair.
Okay, we'll fuck that off then. KFC, that's a banger.
Yeah, I can vibe with KFC. Yeah.
We'll vibe with KFC. So next week, what's your order? KFC.
Are we doing KFC or are we doing Chicken Shop? Because my Chicken Shop is elite, but I still get KFC sometimes.
Nah, it's got to be KFC because KFC is like special. We'll talk about both because I also do that sometimes.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
But we'll bang that through because I'm assuming it'll be similar style of food.
Takeaway chicken next week then.
We would hope so. But
KFC just has like your zingers and stuff like that, which obviously the other boss men don't have.
Well,
it's not. I'll have something similar, but it's not a zinger. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I would argue that my boss man zinger is actually better than the KFC one.
I would also, because I don't rate the zinger, but we'll save this for next week.
Just saying. Okay, I thought the mighty discussion when it comes to pizza is, should pineapple be put on a pizza?
No. Take it fucking off. It is wrong. It is unconstitutional. It's just disrespect. Like,
I don't mind it. I like
for both
pineapple
and pizza.
See, I like pineapple on a pizza. My sister sometimes gets Hawaiian, and I wouldn't order it myself, but I do have a few slices.
It's just wrong. Like, why would you do that?
And I did have a Hawaiian pizza when I was in Orlando from Blaze Pizza, and it was next level elite Hawaiian. Like, it was amazing.
See, I come from the other school of thought, which is generally when I order pizza, I'll have a little bit of veg or whatever on it. Like, it might be jalapenos, maybe some onions, like sweet corn. I want as much fucking meat on that pizza as is physically possible. Okay, I don't want to see cheese. I just want pepperoni.
Pepperoni is next level topping though.
Like pepperoni, like even if you get like one of them with a bit of chorizo on it as well, that's decent. Like, that's what I want. I don't want to see like fucking pineapple. Like, it's just wrong.
It's a no to pineapple.
Look, pineapple gets a yes from me. It's a no from you too. But
yeah, but you have barbecue base, so
yeah, there you go.
Your opinion's not valid.
Well, like it matters. We're moving on from pizza. Should we wrap up today's podcast?
Yeah, let's call it quits.
Well, I'm really excited for next week with the Kentucky Fried Chicken / Chicken Shop Bush order. Hopefully we'll have some better reviews than this week. Might be easier to get some. Hopefully, I think there's some good music releasing next week as well, so that should be good.
I really hope so.
Yeah, don't we all? So we had news reviews, the pizza, almost your order. Anything else anyone would like to say?
No, we're good. Cheers for listening.
Okay, so from me, well, don't forget you can find us on social media, No Drinks in the Booth, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Equally, make sure you listen to the playlist on Spotify and watch the YouTube playlist. From me, Pav and Chris. Peace.